Throughout this show, we've been asking if the $100 billion man, Jeff Bezos, is the new Steve Jobs. It's a fair question. Joining us now, the author of The Four, The Hidden DNA of Amazon, Apple, Facebook and Google, NYU Stern professor, Scott Galloway. Scott, welcome back to the program.
Good to be here, sir.
Now then, I think that's a fair question, because I think Jeff Bezos has risen to the level where he could challenge Steve Jobs as an innovator. What say you?
Yeah, he identifies the age. Steve Jobs with the iPhone and the iMac, and then you have Jeff Bezos with Prime, where 62% of households now have Prime. More households have a relationship or a cable pipe of stuff into their house called Prime than voted in the 2016 election.
Is that true, really?
Or
62% of all households in America have Prime.
More people have Prime than voted in the election or have a landline phone. And if current trends continue, in 3 to 7 years, more people are going to have a cable pipe of stuff into their house called Prime than have cable television. Lord. So, and then you're talking about the most innovative product probably the last 3 years. Was it the Apple Watch? Was it the Apple Pods? No, it was Amazon's Echo, which now has 70% share of voice in the home.
This is incredible. How about that cloud business? I think one of our guests just said that half the world's internet traffic flows through Amazon's cloud business. Now, I don't know whether that's accurate or not. You study the company. Is it? Originally
developed to handle the capacity internally for Amazon. Now they add that capacity every day to their third-party offering called AWS. The most profitable, fastest-growing sector in business, which is unusual for Amazon because they don't like to run at profits, is the cloud. And who's number one with treble the share of the number two, Microsoft? Amazon.
You are a stockholder. You own Amazon stock.
Yeah, I think it's a double from here.
Wait a minute, a double from here. It currently is $1,200 a share. You think it's going to $2,400 a share?
Well, I've said for 3 years Amazon was going to be the first trillion-dollar company. This is what's going to happen, Stuart. We're going to do something called zero-click ordering. They're going to offer it. They're going to say, we know your purchase history. We have artificial intelligence. We have a warehouse within 20 miles of 45% of the U.S. population. We're going to start sending you 2 boxes, 1 box with everything we think you know you want, or we know you want, 1 box to send stuff back. They're going to take Prime households from $1,300 a year to $7,000. The stock's going to become anti-gravity, zoom to $7,000 per household. Stock becomes anti-gravity. We freak out and break them up. But they're going to get to $1 trillion first.
You are clearly an admirer of the company and clearly an admirer of Jeff Bezos.
Unbelievable.
Obviously. And yet you are a critic because you think they're just too powerful.
I think key to full-throated capitalism is that at some point markets begin to fail. We step in with people with jerseys on the field and throw a flag when someone starts getting 5 downs to get 5 tries at a first down, and the markets are failing. When you talk about consumer stocks on this show, you talk about the underlying performance, you talk about the macro environment, and then you oftentimes talk about what Amazon is or isn't doing in that sector, which means markets have failed. The key to capitalism, the key to full-body contact competition, creating billionaires, creating shareholder value, is occasionally we restore fairness and competition to the markets.
Oh, you're a socialist. You are a socialist, are you not?
I'm a full-throated capitalist.
Wait a second.
Capitalists believe the markets lead. Socialists believe governments lead. For the markets to lead, you have to occasionally go in and break up mob out. What happened to telco companies when we broke them up? We unleashed unbelievable shareholder value and productivity. What is a better economy, Stuart? Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google? Or Amazon, AWS, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Google, YouTube, Apple, iTunes? Where's more jobs, more tax base, more billionaires? What ecosystem?
You know what? I'm prepared to give in on this to a socialist with British ethnic base. I'll submit to that. I think you might be right. Break them up, and that might be better for capitalism and for the markets.
Shareholder value.
Yeah. Shall I ask you about the royal wedding? Have you any interest in that whatsoever? You're ethnically British, I think, aren't you?
Dual citizen. My mother was so freaked out I might be drafted when we invaded Iraq. She made me a dual citizen, and then I got a note from Her Majesty's Royal Command asking me to register for the Falkland Islands crisis. Dual citizen. That's what the law of unintended consequences.
Yeah. If you're not careful, son, you're coming back on this show.
I'm ready.
All right. Thanks very much, Scott.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, sir.